Hey, Shefik here for Yonkers Voice. And remember, keep informed and subscribe. We're here on Yonkers Voice on YouTube, also Facebook, Instagram, we're everywhere. But we're here at the moment right now with an actor, choreographer, director. You're a singer too?
I used to.
Singer, triple threat. He's a triple threat. His name is Toney Goins, and we're happy to have him here with us here at Yonkers Voice. It's interesting because I'm looking at you right now, and you look wildly familiar. It's like, has everyone ever told you look like that guy Philip from the show Billons?
You know, it's funny when I get it. People never know where they know me from.
Yes.
They're always just like, "Oh, you're always," and they usually say Succession because they get the shows mixed up.
Yes. Well, that's HBO, and
Yes.
this is Showtime.
Yes.
Showtime. Remember? Yes. So of course, this is the actor. He played Philip. He was a recurring character in season 6, but also you came back on final season of season 7 as a star.
Yeah,
So
yeah. They
how does it feel to have a story arc in a sense?
Oh, it's great. It's great because a lot of TV shows these days they do like the 8-episode story structure, and I feel like that's not enough time to give characters arc, give them places to go, develop it. So it was so nice. One of Billons, they did like 13 episodes a season, and then to have that carry across 2 seasons was great. The cast, the crew, the creative team, everyone from top to bottom was just phenomenal on this project. It was one of those experiences where people were like, remember this, because it's rare in the industry that you're going to be on a set where everyone is kind, everyone is generous, everyone's cool. Like, we all still hang out with each other. We still text each other. I was at one of my castmates' birthday parties the other day. I'm going to another one's improv show next week. We still keep in touch and support each other after it's been a couple years now since the show ended. So it was such a gift to be a part of that.
Yeah, and of course we're here live on location here in Yonkers, New York.
Yeah.
And we call it Hollywood on Hudson.
Okay.
Right? So of course we have Lionsgate Studios here, Great Point Studios.
Yeah.
A lot of notable shows and films have been shot here in Yonkers, and a few footsteps from where we're filming at right now. But for those actors who are actually watching this right now, let's talk about how you started your process, because we talked about Billons, of course, but you've been on ABC shows, you've been on a variety of different productions. How do you actually first get a story arc? That's first and most. Because you started as a recurring character, then became a star. How do you actually do that? Because we understand the audition process, you may start to audition, but how do you transcend and get something greater once you're actually in it?
That's a great question. It's part of it is tricky because as actors, there's so much that is out of our hands. There's so much out of our control. But I think something that showrunners and producers are looking for from you as an actor is, can we build a story around this person? The way that you kind of have to come with your interpretation of the character, your own thing to it. You can't come waiting for a director to tell you how to be or what to do, or for someone else to. You need to come ready with an idea how you want to approach this character and just shoot like that and let them build around you. And I think that became present with the character, because I had no idea what they were planning to do. Yeah, it was a great surprise, because here's part of what happened. As I got close with the rest of the cast, they started to build my story around that. So the character Taylor on the show, the actor Asia and I became really, really close friends. So then they were like, okay, we're gonna have these two like go at it. We're gonna make an arc where these two fight for control. We're gonna have them kind of be this two, and then it ended up with us running this thing together. So they were really translating a lot of what was going on behind the scenes onto the screen. But like again, I came into it just being like, okay, I got to build this character. And it was so different from what I had played before. The character I was before that, I was a high schooler on this ABC show. And so
what's the name of the show?
that show is called For Life. It's on ABC, it's on Hulu. We shot in Yonkers for some of that, which was really, my character's family lived up here. We shot on location here, which was great. But playing 17, 18 for a couple years, then going to this hedge fund tech person, making that shift in my head was very different. Even my team, when I first got the audition, they were like, you might Reed too young for this? I don't know. And I was kind of like, yeah, maybe. And my friend was like, just go for it. Just go, just shoot. And it worked out beautifully.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you're doing something that's sort of episodic and you want to convince your director or even your showrunner and so on that you could expand the character role, when you really do that, do you do it when you're filming because then you overact and then you could show a better range and hopefully it'll keep something and not, or do you do it in the pre-production, or how do you find that gap?
I think that's something that you can discuss in the midst of shooting. Maybe not like literally while you're on set, but like if I know, you know typically how many episodes you're gonna get when you sign onto a contract where they'll give you a minimum of how many you'll do. So they'll say, oh, you're gonna do a minimum of 8, but you might end up doing 10 or 12, like that. So you know kind of how long you've got, and if it is something you believe is beneficial to the plot or you as a group, as an ensemble, that is something if your showrunners are cool like I had, you can talk to them and say, hey, I think it would behoove us if this go, and again, you kind of have to know that that might not happen. Because again, the showrunners are answering to the studio and they're answering to their execs, and then, there's such a hierarchy in this industry that you got to be aware of a lot of the time and understand that as an actor, part of it is you are a product for this business that you're working in. So I think you have to feel out when it is appropriate to give your 2 cents or where you land on the call sheet and if it's appropriate. And if you feel that it is, go for it.
Okay. So let's talk about your history. I know you've been a choreographer. You've done a lot of theater work and so on. So you've been doing this for a while. It's not like you just showed up in television, network television.
Yeah.
You're here. Let's talk about your history and your sort of struggle to get there. Right?
Sure. I started relatively late when it comes to being an actor. I know a lot of folks are like, oh, I've wanted this since I was a kid. I didn't. I didn't know what I was doing. So I went to an all-boys private school in Philly. I did sports most of my life. Like any sport you can think of, I've probably done it. And then I guess I did my first production in middle school, and it was just like fun. And we got to interact with girls when we did plays and musicals and things like that. All the girls' schools could come and participate in our shows, and we had a great theater program. But once I got into high school, that was something I enjoyed, but also there are people who are 6 feet tall now. We're on the basketball team. There's people 200 pounds on the football team. I'm like, oh, I can't do that anymore. I have to pivot somewhere. I'm not built for that anymore. And so I started participating. We did 2 musicals my freshman year of high school, actually. And then for our sophomore year, someone suggested that I be dance captain, and that turned into, giving you the short version, that turned into choreographer, and then I started winning awards for choreography, and then I was like, oh, this requires so much work, this is so hard to do, but I love it. Like, there's no part of me that wants to not be doing this. And so I spent all my free time kind of just in the theater, creating choreography, reading scripts, figuring out different things. Doing that, I like to piece together puzzles, and that's how I see choreography, that's how I see directing, that's how I see acting. And so once it kind of was established that this is my bag and this is what I want to do, when it came time to go to college, I was like, I guess my college counselor was like, you do the acting thing, I guess this is what you should do, because the school that I went to, everyone's going to Ivy Leagues, and then they're going to go work at their dad's company afterwards and work in finance, and that's not my path. That's not the position I was born into. So I applied to a bunch of different acting schools, most in New York. I think it was like Fordham, Pace, NYU, Juilliard, and then in Philly it was like Temple and Penn State. And I got into every school. And funny enough, I picked Juilliard because I actually did not know about the school at the time. I'd never heard of it before. I didn't really know what I was walking into, but my experience there was so I don't even know the word for it. It was so rewarding. It was very long. It was a very arduous process. But I came away from it being like, oh, I don't even care if I get in because I took so much from this. I had so much fun. And then going there, you're just working. You're just working on your craft 24/7, honestly. We were in class 6 days a week, from 8 and 9 in the morning till 10, 11 at night, every day, just working on different aspects of this. And I loved it.
Right.
It's one of those places where you really do have to define your experience there, because it's going to be hard, it's going to be fun, it's going to be all those things. But I loved it. I wouldn't go do it again because it was a lot, but I'm so thankful I went through that. And then it got hard after that. After that, you don't have the safety net of school. You don't really have that support around you. And you've been in this place where your schedule has been determined for you for 4 years. We never picked classes. We never auditioned. They set everything up for us. And so you do 4 years of being insulated, and then you go out into the world all of a sudden with none of these things. And it's scary. It's terrifying. And on top of that, you've got this industry that you don't really know yet. You don't know the people yet. You don't kind of know how it works. And we were studying theater. So there's a whole different set of techniques and skills that come in with working in film and TV. And so I was going on a ton of auditions. I got an agent, manager. I'm still with them to this day. I got sent out on a ton of auditions, and a lot of the feedback was, oh, we love him, he's great. Just that thing's not there, and no one will tell you what the thing is or how to get it. But they'll tell you you don't have it or you do. And so it's really frustrating because you're trying to break through and get into that door. And once you're in it, but it's the steps you have to take to get there that were difficult for me. And so a lot of what I was doing was my theater training that I learned was way too big for camera work a lot of the time. And the day I figured it out, I was actually in a production at Roundabout called Tony Stone. And during that time, I was asked by a casting director to come do a table read for a show called The Deuce. It was an HBO show with James Franco and Maggie Gyllenhaal, I believe. And they were having me read all the characters that they hadn't cast yet and the stage directions and stuff. And when I was at that table read, we were in like this big warehouse full of people, actors, execs, all this stuff. What hit me was that I was the loudest person in the room when we were reading. I was watching like James Franco and Maggie Gyllenhaal do their lines, and they were talking like this, and they were doing this stuff.
So that was intentional?
Yes, and I was like, oh, well, no, I wasn't trying to be loud on purpose. I was just like, oh, this is my training.
Okay.
I'm filling the space, and it was like
your theater training.
And they were doing TV acting. Even though we weren't really on a set.
Right.
But I was like, oh, okay, that's a more natural approach to this. There's microphones right here.
Right.
All of these, and that's when it clicked for me. And then I started going into auditions differently. And then I booked.
Well, that's the one thing that
that was the thing, to just like contain it, keep this life, but like focus it into a smaller point, which then started to translate into working on film versus the stage.
Right. So I know you've been doing this a number of years now, and you've sort of found a balance, as you just illustrated here, between vocalization and the physicality of it too. It's interesting. We actually met recently. You're a director of this wonderful stage play. We actually did one act of it called Bammy and Buxom, and we premiered it last week at CSP Theater Works, which is a Caribbean festival. They are wonderful playwrights and up-and-coming talent as part of this experience. And of course, we met through there. I was associate producer of the project. Tyler Harris is the writer and a co-director. And then you came in to direct and you helmed it for us. So thank you for the experience, first of all. So
thank you.
It's wonderful. And thank you to Tyler. She may be watching right now.
Thanks, Tyler.
But first, let's talk about what that is, because it's kind of different where you have a process with a theater project, because people just think Broadway, first of all, right? And they hear off Broadway. But we were off Broadway.
Yes.
At a notable place, first of all. It's a renowned theater space that has a number of renowned actors that come from that space. But let's talk about the process, because we only did one act, right? And it's something where, how do we actually, first let's tell what the synopsis of it is, you know?
How will we summarize this? So it's about a second generation Jamaican woman who is putting on Thanksgiving dinner for her family for the first time, and she is not a good cook. And her family, while her family leaves, she's left alone with her great grandmother, who the family does not know is suffering from Alzheimer's in a form of dementia. And the great grandmother is having an episode alone with her great granddaughter at the house. And so they're coming together to kind of ease that tension. And there's a religious experience that happens throughout that. And it's kept between them. The rest of the family is not made aware of this even when they come back.
It's interesting. I didn't have a chance to talk to you or Tyler about this part, but one of the things that kind of drew me in particular to the project is my grandmother actually passed away recently from dementia. And we saw her deteriorate. So there's a lot of things I saw in the play, and I know this is part of Tyler's, true life story and her family dynamics, and I was relating to that. Seeing that play out on stage, kind of thing. How do you actually take someone else's words? Because again, Tyler wrote this.
Yes.
It's her personal experience. How do you then transform it into something that you could personify and then hopefully resonate with the rest of the audience?
Great question. Well, something that drew me to it, besides Tyler and I being friends for so long, Tyler and I met on the set of For Life.
Okay.
Actually, we were a couple on that show for 2 years. But my great-grandfather had Alzheimer's, and he passed away, and that was something I was drawn to and related to as well. And that was a story I wanted to tell in particular. But also, it's the same thing when people ask, like, oh, how can you do Shakespeare nowadays when it was so long ago? The human experience doesn't change for the most part. Regardless if it was 500, 600, 1,000 years ago to now, our feelings and emotions and how we process them and how we display them and how we interconnect with folks, that has always been the case, even before we developed heightened language. So when you are taking on someone's work, that's at the core of it what you're trying to get to. What is the human experience here? What is the feeling? How can we share that? So I think that would be my answer.
All right, so as a director, as I mentioned, we only did one act due to time constraints because it's a festival, but how do you encapsulate that as a director to know that you've justified telling the story in a reasonable manner with the confinement of that and only one act? Because it's left as a cliffhanger in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Did we really tell enough of the story that justifies this to the audience?
I think that was the hardest part, was the time constraint we had. And I think Tyler wrote, that was the other thing about it. Tyler wrote a good arc for as brief as it was. She was able to tell that story. And so being able to justify it, part of it, and this is part of just being in the industry, you go, this is what I have to work with. I can't wonder or wish I had other things going on right now, because that's not present and that's going to distract me from working with what we do have. And so just dealing with that, the way I broke it down, we had the scenes with the family and the scenes with the two of them. And so we dealt with the family stuff first because it was big, it was chaotic, it was messy, and it was fun. And so once I was able to kind of deal with that and get them doing their path, we were able to focus in on more of the heavier elements of the play, which were Tyler's character and Maya, who was our other actress playing the great-granddaughter. And it was crazy too, because we had Tyler step in at the last second and play this character she was not supposed to play. She wasn't supposed to be in the show.
Right.
And so her coming from Atlanta to jump in with that part was great. One, because I told her, this is your play, and I want you to be able to do what you want with it. What I'm going to do is, as an outsider, I'm going to help shape it for us and help, give it that through line, help navigate it, make sure it looks a certain way. But for a lot of the internal stuff, I lucked out with that. I'm like, these are your words, so I want you to live them and do that. And so she was able to just like come in and step into that, which was so helpful because I was also was running tech at the same time.
Right.
So I was up in the booth, I'm talking with the stage manager, I'm talking with the lighting, getting the sound, doing the lights, while Tyla's doing her thing on stage. So I'm seeing certain things, I'm giving her notes, she's able to kind of work it and talk with the other actress while I'm up doing that at the same time. It was it was a big learning experience, but it was so rewarding to see this work come through at the end of it and see it all pay off. Because one of the things that I got from this is a lot of times when you're creating work and you're creating art, you want to control what happens because it's personal to you, and so you're very hands-on about it. I had to be in a position where I said, I trust that the actors are going to take care of what they need to do. We've done the rehearsal, we've done the work, we've talked about it. I'll come in and give them notes before we go on. But at the end of the day, they got to step on stage and do it.
Right.
And I can't hover above them. And so I was able to relinquish that onto them, and they took it, ran with it, and I was so proud of how it came out.
It was tremendous, great cast.
Yeah,
It was great to witness it from the sidelines and see how it come over. I do want to mention, of course, it was 2 days in December 2025, and we were sold out.
We
Both
sure
dates.
were.
Even the second day, we were actually the closing piece for the festival overall. The second day, it was sold out to the point where there was actually standing room on the side, because there wasn't even seats for everybody. So we exceeded capacity.
That's
So
awesome.
it's tremendous to be a part of that experience and see it out. To the point where they are going to come back next year with the festival, and it's something they highlight, particularly Caribbean descendants and that sort of thing. They play rights, and so it was wonderful to be a part of it.
It sure was.
Yeah. So let's talk about the future, right?
Oh, man.
You are the triple threat, the singer. Anything you want to mention with an album coming out next year?
Oh,
anything
no.
You want to, tackle?
I do karaoke with my friends. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. We do it once a month with a live band, and it's awesome.
All right.
That's the extent of that part of things.
All right.
But for the industry side, so the industry's been in a very weird place these past few years.
Yes.
With the strikes happening, AI becoming a thing. Now we've got this whole Netflix sale that's going on that's kind of got everyone going weird. COVID on top of all of that. Because when I was first getting out there, we were going in person, we were going to offices, you had a personal relationship with casting directors, you got to see the other people going in for the same part, you developed community that way. And that's kind of gone now, which is a very tricky thing to navigate. Because now pretty much everything is self-tapes. And so because of that, they're taking more submissions. So they're seeing more people for a role, but now because of all the other things going on, there are less roles. So we've got more people going in for less roles these days. And it's very, very tricky. And so part of what I've been doing to keep myself sane is you have to start doing your own stuff. And you can't wait for other people to give you permission or open the door for you. You got to start making your own things. I'm producing a feature film with one of my buddies that we've been working on for years. We've got our funding, we've got our director, we're making moves with that. My agency's been very helpful behind that. So we're doing that. I'm writing. I have a horror script I just wrote. I have another one I just started maybe 2 days ago. I'm meeting up with some of my classmates and friends, and we'll sit down and just brainstorm and just have writing sessions with each other. They're doing their thing. We'll throw ideas at each other. Whatever I do, I want to stay in the creative space. I picked up a camera. I'm doing photography things now. I'm doing a little videography. Whatever I can to stay in here, because this is the world I love. This is the world I want to occupy, and I cannot see myself doing anything else. I really can't. I get bored easily, and I can't fathom doing something where I'm like, oh, I gotta go to work today. I've never had that experience where I dread having to get up and go to work. Going to set is one of my favorite things ever, and I get excited. I get upset when I'm not called that day. I'm like, oh, I gotta chill. Okay, but I love that I found the thing that I'm obsessed with, despite how difficult it is. It's all about staying in the world and not giving up, because the persistence is what's going to keep you in it.
All right. Well, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Shefik.
Staying persistent, being a wonderful role model to everybody out here, Hollywood and Hudson here in Yonkers. So once again, subscribe to Yonkers Voice on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Yonkers Voice News. We also recently announced Riverdale Voice. So follow us there. We're expanding, we're growing. Tens of thousands of people follow us, and we're here live here in the heart of Yonkers, New York. So thanks again.